21. And Anthony Melchiori is back. Sounds like the best present of all.
Happy 51st birthday, Glenn Houseman with 2 S's.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality. Welcome back, Anthony Melchiori. So great to see you, and welcome all of you folks back to No Vacancy Live. Of course, it's November 18th, 2021. And Anthony, it is so good to see you back from what I've been saying. He's been on assignment for the last few days.
Well, first of all, I wish you a happy 51st birthday. It's been like somebody shot you in the head.
Yeah.
You didn't seem so thrilled.
Well, I mean, 50 was kind of fun. 51 feels really aggressive, right?
I'm going to be 57. I'm going to be 57 in a few months, baby.
It's just weird, man. It's just super weird. I mean, and birthdays in general are super weird because it's just like, hey, congratulations for having not died yet. I don't.
You know what? You know what's interesting? I think at 70, everybody's got to watch out because I think at 70, I'm going to try to prove to myself and everyone else that I'm not old, and I'm going to like join Ironman and do like 3-hour, push-ups and all kinds of stuff and planks, and I'm going to beat Sarah in planks at 70. So yeah, I think
Sarah 70, right?
I look forward to getting older as long as I stay healthy.
Totally, man. I'll tell you what, in that vein, Anthony, I just I threw all caution to the wind, didn't do any work this morning, went on a really long hike because it's such incredible weather here for some reason in New York City.
Well, you deserve it. It's 70 degrees. I'm wearing my Miami South outfit because I'm looking out my window and it's beautiful and it's hot. I have all the windows open because it's like 70 something degrees out. But so on assignment, I was there doing a event for Mr. Bosworth, who's the COO of JC Hospitality, which controls the Virgin Hotel. And we were talking about Vegas. We were talking about in Vegas. We're talking about debt and equity and how we brought the whole thing together. Wow. It's the only casino in Vegas that's not owned by the hotel. It's owned by the operator, Mohegan Sun. Fascinating stuff. I mean, I geeked out. Like, I have no idea. I spent an hour on stage with him, and it was like 2 kids in a candy store. I geeked out about the financing of the deal. And I was there during the World Series of Poker. And
that seems like an absolutely surprising coincidence.
It was a coincidence, a nice coincidence. But what's interesting is I cashed in one of the small tournaments, $200 buy-in tournament, and I won like $400, whatever. But literally 100 yards away, 30 minutes later, they crowned the main event champion, $8 million.
Woo! Wow.
So I'm standing online for my 400. The guy's like 15 minutes behind me, standing online for his $8 million. But it was a great. It was great. I mean, the city is just electric.
That sounds really exciting. Well, we're going to be back in Las Vegas in just a couple of weeks, right after Thanksgiving, Anthony. That's going to be great because we're taking part in a great event. We're going to be doing a 2-part show on this, where we're working with UNLV and the Blackfire Innovation Center and all that, and we're going to be doing like a Shark Tank type of competition. I'll be hosting. You'll be judging. It's going to be so much fun.
Tell you, you know what? If somebody said, which position would you rather do, judging or hosting? Right. Judging, baby.
And I'd rather be doing the hosting. That way I don't hurt anyone's feelings. I could make some jokes. Hopefully I'll get some laughs and escape. You know
what's so funny? I watched you host last week in New York, and you were so impressive. I told you that over right before our podcast, how impressive you were. And you actually gave me, without realizing, you motivated me and gave me some tricks of the trade. So when I moderated my panel with Mr. Bosworth, I was channeling you, and I was really relaxed and really funny. I think I was funny, but everybody was laughing. But you were so relaxed around people that, like, let's just say, didn't really care about your or mine existence.
Yeah, totally.
You were comfortable, like you were their best friend.
Yep. Yeah, man. Well, that's the whole thing. You just got to find how to get into the zone. One of the cool things about being at this part in our careers is something about turning 50 and going through all the COVID. It's just finally giving me that zhuzh that I didn't really have. So now I'm just more relaxed, and I just feel like it's so coming to me easy. I don't have to work as hard for all of that stuff.
Well, you know what? To be politically incorrect, I got no fucks to give.
Yeah,
they're all empty. So, like, I don't really give a rat's butt anymore about anything. But but having fun and being grateful
Right.
and being, living gratefulness and just be happy for
That's
everything I
right.
have, and everything else I don't give a rat's ass about.
That's right. And I'm grateful to everyone out there that has given us and myself such great support, particularly over the last year since I turned 50. Since we'll mark it off with that little categorization over there. And
So we have my lead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
I
interrupt
was
you.
just about ready to transition. What?
I try to stop you from doing that because you're going to say nice things about this person. I'm not really
Well,
a big.
only because I was forced to. If you want to know the truth,
I'm not a big fan.
story.
Not a big fan.
Not.
Not a big fan.
All right. You want to bring her on, maybe?
I'm her number one fan. Yes, bring her on. Bring her on.
All right. The one, the incredible Sarah Dandashy.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Hey.
Wow.
How are you?
I'm like excited. This is wow. By the way, wait, really? Not a fan? Come on.
Nah, I'm just your number one fan. You know that from day one.
Yeah.
From day one.
Yeah. He can't send you so much. He did this. Take the name off. Take the name off. Take the name off. Wait. There we go. Forward by Anthony Melchiori. We're talking hospitality from within. Congratulations. You got the book published. We're so super excited for you. This is so amazing.
Thank you guys. By the way, no, this has been so exciting. And the whole process of putting it together, it's been a really rewarding experience. And that, we've talked about this before, and I don't ask for a lot of things, and I was just like, it would be so special if you would contribute, if you were so inspired. And again, I was so honored that you took the time to not only read it, you read it pretty quickly, but also put together a foreword for this book. But Hospitality from Within, it's out now on pre-sale.
Yes, it's out now. Please buy it, everyone. It is the most important book right now, and I'll tell you why. It's simple read. It's everything that's been in my head forever that I can't get out. That Sarah did amazing, and it's been in her head forever. It's. I don't want to say it, so I won't say it because it's more complicated than I was about to say.
Okay.
It's a complicated book, but it's simple. Meaning, what's going on in our industry right now with the service in our industry and with people being in the hospitality industry. They're not getting it. And when you read this book, it's really kind of a roadmap, in my opinion, to either get it or don't get it. If you don't get it, just leave. And if you get it, it's pretty simple to get. And I walked through hotels all through Vegas in the last couple of days. And I've been saying since day one, all the people that are now out front cleaning, they should have the most trained. They should be most trained in service. None of them are trained. It's terrible. But before too long, tell us what the book's about. Tell us why you were inspired to write the book. And I have one more question, but answer those two.
Okay, perfect. So, the book is really encapsulates what the title is supposed to mean. So this notion of hospitality from within, and there's two prongs to that. One is when you're talking about delivering hospitality and that genuine engagement that you might have, that being authentic and really being present
Right.
when you are interacting and engaging with guests. And what does that look like? I know it's interesting because we're talking about an industry where it's all about how you make people feel, but then it's like, how do you kind of like summarize that in a way and kind of give people different tools or remind them, because, obviously it's always nice to be reminded of maybe why we got into this industry, that passion behind it. And so it's about how you deliver that hospitality from within, that genuine warmth, heart, that spirit that makes it so special. Now, the other side of it as well is also for hospitality businesses, be it hotels, restaurants, etc., to look within. Are their employees happy? Are they making sure that they are taking care of the people, the software, so to speak, that makes the functioning of their business so special? You can put four walls anywhere, but it's the people that really make the difference.
But the problem right now is everybody's so busy being busy because everybody's working the floor, general managers, vice presidents, owners, everybody's working the floor. And what I like about your book is not just talking and quotes. It's about how to do things, like give takeaways, which I really like.
Exactly. And, again, what I kind of break down in it I talked first of all a little bit about the history of hospitality,
Right.
to kind of like set the stage.
That's cool.
And then from there, break down what I think are the 7 pillars of hospitality, but then also fine tune. Of course, we talk about, communication, the important that establishing relationships. Another key element, dissecting a little bit, the tipping point between 4 and 5-star service. Now,
Mhm.
that's a fine line, but there is a difference.
What is the difference really in how you achieve that? I mean, I feel it every single time I
Yeah.
go. I think there's let me see if I get any of this right.
Sure.
A little bit of separation between the levels of service you get, in addition to perhaps some of the finishes and the design elements and probably sheets and stuff like that too.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's certainly the physical aspect. But I think when it comes down to service, the best way to really like, and I'm talking about, we're making it so crystal clear and simple, it's thoughtfulness. The more thoughtful
Right.
the service is, that is where you get that tipping point between 4 and 5-star service. And so I know
Yeah.
that's an interesting word, but that
Yeah.
encompasses so much.
No. I think that's why I was inspired to. For people who don't know, you sent it to me. I think it was Saturday morning, but Saturday afternoon, I called you up screaming, going, "I want to write the forward. I'll do the forward."
Oh,
And
I'm
here's the
sharing that
forward.
video, by the way. That's going to happen.
Which that can you show it now or no?
Oh, I mean, I can't hear. Yeah. Let me see if I can send it to you guys.
All right.
Send it to my friend, Dr. Producer.
Okay, perfect.
All right, and but you said thoughtfulness, and I've had some experiences recently where I was in a really nice hotel a couple days ago, not the Virgin Hotel, a different hotel,
Mhm.
and I was talking to the front desk person, and they did everything I asked them to do. It took them longer than I wanted, but they never looked up and they weren't thoughtful. I cracked a joke or two, nothing. She could care less about my existence, but she accomplished the goal. I was so uninspired and pissed off because I didn't come here for the goal. I didn't come here for just this one thing. I came to be inspired. I came for thoughtfulness. Because listen, all the tasks that we do on a daily basis in hospitality, anybody can do. But the difference between, to your question, Glenn, between 4 and 5-star service, I don't think Sarah could have said a better word. I think that's really why your book, I think, is going to be a bestseller. I really do, and I'll do everything I can to get it to being a bestseller. I think every company should buy for all their employees. And what I also think it does, after you read it, you have to have a real exam of yourself. And say, can I do this? Do I want to do this? But how do you take this book and give it to a company and say, hey, make your employees or have your employees read this? I think it'll be helpful when they're just so exhausted. They don't give a crap about, thoughtfulness. They just care about getting through the day. You have restaurants closing, okay, because they can't find employees. Literally, there was a very successful restaurant in Vegas that closed, not because they didn't have guests. They had no employees. So how do you get people inspired to want to read that book and then care again? Because everybody's so burnt out.
Yeah, well, and that's a really great point. And by the way, I was looking at my phone because I'm making sure that we're going to share this video of you, Anthony.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it right here.
Okay, perfect. Sent it to you. And then
I don't
send
even remember it, but I remember what the words I said, but I don't remember what I look like.
No. But and by the way, I actually just hopped off of a webinar that was between it was hotel effectiveness as well as Amadeus, and we're talking about guests changing behaviors as far as like what and their expectations, as well as labor and looking into next year. And this is a hot topic right now. There's no bigger topic. This is very much the reality of like what oh my gosh, Anthony, Are you ready for this?
I'm a little nervous because I haven't listened to it in a year.
All right.
We'll see.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna see. Here we go.
No sound.
Oh, we got to make it louder. Anthony, good luck, by the way.
Hold on. It said I was sharing the sound over here, people. This is tough. All right. Let me work on this a little bit more.
All right, but it is the most important thing. And what I've been saying to Glenn is I don't think anybody's getting it right.
Yeah. Well, and I hate to say this, I mean, obviously, but it's like, I think it's hard to get it right out the gate. You know, I mean, I think it's going to be a fine balance. It's also every property, every brand is so different. Every guest expectation with that is, so it's like, how does one get it right? And then certainly like looking within and making sure that, the employees do feel, inspired. They do feel this sense of like, okay, I actually want to be here. I mean, right now the turnover rates are higher than they've ever been. And we already, it's an industry already with a high turnover rate. And so how do you, how you basically have a landscape where people are kind of doing multiple roles at once. So how can you turn that into something where maybe it's a cross training and it's sort of like almost can be laid out as like a stepping stone, so they can almost have an idea as far as employees, an idea of their trajectory. Okay, if I can do this, I can work to that, and maybe this is how I can build my career. I think if that is laid out in a real way for employees and they can see the actual tangible trajectory of their professional path, I think that that's going to keep them as far as retention. Now, the other side of things is also balance as far as understanding overtime and just everything that we're doing. So I mean, it is really this fine tightrope that we're walking. But again, with this book, it really comes down to us to really kind of examine, if we have been in the industry for some time, okay, why are we passionate about this industry? We all know that really, I think the biggest payback, the biggest thing that we can take away are the special moments that we can create for other people. And if we can
I think if that doesn't inspire you, this business isn't for you. But I want to kind of go back to what I said before. I look washed out, and I apologize. I don't know what's going on with my lighting, but I am actually not that white. I'm Italian.
I'm orange.
I'm a little darker than that. But let me see if I go. I'll just hold my hand like that. But I
don't know if I would hold it quite that.
Being at the Virgin Hotel.
Yeah.
And when I was there, I dropped Mr. Bosworth, who basically, is the owner, I'll say, of Virgin Hotels. Mm-hmm. JC Hospitality controls it, which is his company. And I've dropped his name a lot because I wanted to get a response. Mm-hmm. And so I say, hey, I'm having dinner with Mr. Bosworth. Hey, I'm doing a thing for Mr. Bosworth. Hey, man. So every employee, from the driver to the front desk to the concierge to the bartenders and waiters, I dropped his name. To the director, to salespeople too. Without a doubt, they looked me in the eye and they said, without fail, I should say, without fail, they looked me in the eye like they're about to cry how much they love this man.
That's all. I mean, dude, I met him once and I feel the same way. He's like such a dude I would work for.
But like the bellman, the doorman, the drivers, they know him. And I asked the driver specifically, I said, why? And he's been in Vegas. The driver knew everything about Vegas, was at the Hard Rock before he was the Virgin, knows where all the dead bodies are buried. This man is an encyclopedia of Vegas. And I said, why is Mr. Bosworth different? And he said, because he cares. He shows up in the morning, looks me in the eye, he says good morning, and he has a real conversation with me. Mm-hmm. Every single person says that he cares.
Right.
And the man is around that, Now what he's doing is he needs to be on property probably for, he said, 3 to 5 years. He's been on property now for like 2. So he says another couple of years and I don't need to be on property anymore. But he's instilling that. Start from the beginning.
Under my wrinkles.
Oh, you're showing my wrinkle. Oh wow, my wrinkles were on
This
fire.
is going to be the standard for people in the service industry to read. It's just so elegant and beautiful and thoughtful and patient and precise. It's kind of like you, my friend. So I'm writing my notes and I'm going through it, but I'm already very, very touched.
Wow. That was good. That really does sum up the book.
Anthony, I mean,
your eyes. I see them.
maybe.
No, but it really is. It's easy, when people say, hey, I thought of Hotel Impossible 100 times. Well, you didn't do it, right? I thought of writing the book you wrote 100 times, but I didn't do it because I don't know how. I don't know how to write that book. I'm writing a book, but not that book. I don't know how to take what is an 8 in me and put it on the page. And that's why it was so emotional for me, because it's like, that's the way my brain thinks. And I don't know if I can explain it to anyone. And you did it in a brilliant, your way, just a brilliant, beautiful way. And I seriously, everybody listening to my voice, go buy the book, give it to somebody. If you don't want to read it, give it to someone in any business and ask them to read it, because it gives them takeaways. And I also think what it does is it makes you reflect on why we're in this business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is, again, you know, it's kind of taking stock of what we do is pretty important. Like, we help make memories for people, and it doesn't matter what your role or your specific job or position is, you know, in the realm of hospitality. But when you have the chance to like impact somebody, I mean, when you think about it, you know, if you can do something that creates a memory for somebody that they end up sharing at a dinner table over and over and over again, I mean, in a positive way, obviously. I mean, how special is that?
I'm gonna put you on defensive a little bit here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. You worked as a concierge in 5-star hotels for how long?
So I was a concierge for over 15 years.
15 years. And in those 15 years, you've had we actually had your ex-boss on the show a couple weeks ago, and I thanked him. What's that?
Jeff Kulik.
Yeah, it was Jeff Kulik, right? Yeah. And I said, thank you, because you always said nice things about, he always let you do both things, you know, be an entrepreneur, also work with him. But in 15 years of working, you've had supported bosses and you've had not supportive bosses.
Totally.
You come off as a very elegant, very well-spoken young lady. And sometimes maybe somebody underestimates you because you show up like, oh, you're just a nice, sweet person. But I know that I wouldn't want to mess with you. How do you teach a young person or even an older person in this industry to be as elegant and be as thoughtful as you, but also fight those sword fights that nobody sees?
God, geez, Anthony.
How uncomfortable is that, Sarah? You got to process that part first.
Well,
nice to sit you.
I mean, that was a lot. I mean, so first of all, I mean, I think
but is it accurate? It's a lot, but is it accurate?
What? 100%. 100%. I will say that, you know, I've worked in environments that were super nurturing, and you could also see that I worked in those places for a very long time. I mean, I've worked in places generally for a longer time, but you know, places that really allowed me to kind of like spread my wings a little bit and really kind of fully be myself. But then I've also worked in other environments that maybe I learned a lot in regards to really fine tuning that level of service, but it was a very rigid, strict, and structured environment. And that was more challenging to work in. And I would have my capabilities and my work ethic questioned when there was really no need to. So to answer the first part, as far as having that, how did you word that? Not, I guess that not the polish, but like the presence. I guess, what were you saying? How'd you say that, Anthony?
It was very well said, by the way.
Yeah, it was very well said.
Too bad he's
basically, it's you have the 5-star service, you have that person everybody sees, and you're thoughtful, and everybody loves you. And like, oh my God, Sarah's the best, and everybody at the concierge desk is the best. They're wonderful, they're amazing, but you're having to go fight in the back because you don't have the staff, or you don't have the budget, or they're thinking you shouldn't do the things you're doing, or you're running across town to get something for someone. Maybe your boss is saying you shouldn't do that. The politics in any industry is there.
Well,
so I know how I do it. It's, you know, blunt force trauma. You know, I just whack people. I don't mince words. I'm direct. I square up. You don't do that. So how have you survived that?
Okay. So, I mean, I think, first of all, there is very much of an awareness. So it first starts with an awareness of myself. So as far as like, what am I doing? And being really honest, like, okay, am I doing this or performing to the top of my capability? Because we all know when like some days we might just be like mailing it in, and some days like we're really on. And so to be really honest in regards to our performance within that environment, and then understanding that to have, I'm definitely not one that's going to be blunt force trauma like you, Anthony. I'm always more of the diplomatic approach. And so whether it is using an example or, explaining maybe like the reason behind, whether it's an ask or for more support, or for maybe even individuals that might not see all that's happening and they brush it over, and it's like, okay, well, hold on, let's actually break down. For example, like the concierge position, right now it's a tough time for concierge depending on the property, because you do have some properties that are like, well, is this a revenue generating position? Do we even need it?
Right.
Among many other things. So then how do you end up showing to the powers that be, the higher ups, that it might not be revenue generating in a traditional sense, but there is repeat clientele because of what I do. So again, you do have to have that fine balance of diplomacy, I think.
Have you ever had throw your hands up and walk away and say, screw it, I'm not dealing with this?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't really know, because that's not really how I operate. Like, I don't say, oh, I'm not dealing with
right.
this.
And the reason I'm bringing this, and I think this is the most important thing that we can do. We can talk about thoughtfulness. We can talk about everything else. But I have a way. It's worked for me, and you have a way.
Yeah.
You have to find a way. And
exactly.
Meaning, to bring that thoughtfulness and that care, you have to be able to be successful in those, like I said, knife fights that that people don't see. And the thing that gets you through those concerns is what you said before, is the passion and the thoughtfulness and the caring for this industry.
All right, so we're going to go deep a little bit with some psychology here. Mike
Well,
is
I know we
asking,
are.
what about people that are too hard on themselves and feel they aren't doing enough, even when they receive accolades for good service?
That's a tough one. Well, and this is actually a great point, because I think a couple aspects go into it. And I don't know if we talked about this before, but certainly in the start of my career, I was young, and I think an element of being young, a female in a primarily male dominant like position, certainly where I was working, and then working in a 5-star 5-diamond property in Beverly Hills. It doesn't get higher than that. I mean, it does, but I mean, it's like it's right up there. And so you're put in this like pressure cooker environment, and you're just naturally going to be hard on yourself. But I think that you have to really that you have to work on yourself to be like, okay, I can only be hard on myself to a certain extent, but I can't do it to a point that it's debilitating. You can do it so that you fine tune and you can better yourself. But if it ends up being, if it's just too heavy, then that's a separate thing, and you should probably work on yourself a little bit.
Right. And I think it's right. You have to work on yourself, because I think it comes with confidence. And if you're 50 years old and you're questioning if you're really good at your job, that's a bigger problem than your job. I mean, you have some insecurity issues you need to deal with, and we've all had them. I'm not making light of them. We had to deal with them. Why should people in 10 seconds or less, 30 seconds or less, read this book?
I think especially right now, it's a really important time as we are building back up and more people are traveling. The hospitality industry is going through a lot of changes. And right now, it's also important for us to look within ourselves to see, okay, how can we grow with these challenges in front of us, and, create a profession that we want to continue to be in for years to come. So I think that this is really inspiring, and hopefully, can be a tool for both.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just the hospitality industry. It's every business hospitality.
But yes, no, 100%.
Everybody should read this book. I don't care if you're selling hot dogs at a hot dog stand. You should read this book.
Correct.
Listen, my daughter, who works at a fancy hotel in New York, went to get a very important person something from the fruit stand, and she went to 3 stores, and the fruit stand on the corner of the hotel, she told more stories about that gentleman making her laugh and helping her and selecting the right fruit. And the experience was so thoughtful that she's like, that's where I go to get all the fruit now. 100%. The fruit stand on the corner.
Yeah.
And I don't mean a fruit stand like a store. I mean like a stand.
Yeah, of course. Well, and again, it's about that experience, and it's like that interaction. And that even ties into, you know, one of the chapters that I talk about, and I saw actually a question that came up that was kind of about it, is like, think about it. We're in the industry of saying yes. We want to say yes and make everything happen for people. But wow, that sets the bar high, because sometimes we can't say yes. We can't say yes because it might not be possible. It might not be legal. It might not be various things.
So the official question that I've been waiting for you to bring up is:
Yeah.
in your 15 years, did you ever have a legitimate request you couldn't complete? Can you say what it was?
Like, give me marijuana or prostitutes.
Or
Is what
Marijuana I got. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
well, it's California. I mean, you probably weren't working too long before it became legal.
Yeah, you know, I dabbled with. No, I'm kidding. No. So what I was gonna say is, yes, actually, many, but the whole thing was, it was also how you like presented it. So again, it's like, whether it's, unfortunately, we can't quite get this, maybe because of XYZ, but we can do this. So, when you present it, like you present the options right away, it
Right.
definitely softens the blow of the no. And then obviously, as Anthony was saying, like, yes, there are also like legal things as well too, that you're just like, sorry, I'm unable to help you with that. Luckily, I think being a female, and as I didn't get too many of those questions. Although whenever
they go to the guy, right?
they always go to the guy, or they go to the bellman. On the 2 occasions that I was asked, it totally like went over my head, and I was like, wait, you want to escort like a car service? And
Okay, all right.
Ford makes a good car.
yeah, exactly. Blonde moment right there. I have
Okay,
to say.
so, Glenn, I'm sorry, I'm taking control, but
Oh, it's fine, man. I love it.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
his
one-
birthday. He's gonna just
I don't
like
wanna-
cruise.
Chill, man. Right. You
I have
know.
one more question.
Oh.
And you have to really think about this, because I want a real answer. You know, I'm a fan of yours. I'm not easily fans of anyone, right? I don't.
We probably
Go
haven't
crazy
hung out
about
enough yet.
I just don't. No, but I'm talking.
Let me tell you, I've hung out with her a
professional-
few times. I totally know where she's coming from.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about professional person I admire. I'm not talking. We rarely hang out on a personal level, where it's always a professional thing. So we're friends, but I think we have a lot of respect for each other professionally, and that's
Correct.
really how I see you. I just see you as someone that has had this career that you literally built step by step, second by second, day by day, yourself.
Mhm.
And you did everything really well, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And you now have become an entrepreneur. And now you're traveling more than anyone I think I know. And
Sure.
you traveled as much as I did when I was popping all over the world. And you're getting sponsors, and people are hiring you, and you're writing a book, and you're getting speaking engagements, and you're doing all these things. And it was you. There's no agent, there's no manager, there's no network, there's no producer. It's you. And so, first of all, I want you to pat yourself on the back later and say, holy shit, I did something really special, because you did. Now that you're here and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I don't want a 20-second answer. I want real, honest why and how. Like why did you keep going when people would say no? Or if you wanted a TV show and they said no, or you wanted this and they said no. How did you get here? What is in you that a lot of people don't have?
Oh, goodness.
Goodness is one.
Well, yeah, sure. No. Well, I think at the end of the day, it's really comes from this real place of wanting to make a difference and wanting to help, inspire people or encourage people to think about things differently. And maybe in thinking about things differently, I hate to use this word again, but I think it wraps it up, is that like, how are you more thoughtful about yourself, about like the impact that you have on others, even like a simple exchange. And so, yeah, there have been a lot of no's, but I think my favorite quote that a friend of mine had said, and somebody else came up with it, it's not my quote, but I live by it, is it's not rejection, it's redirection. And so, yeah, I've been told no's, but I don't dwell on it. It's just like, okay, that's not the avenue right now. I just have to like shift. Maybe I'll come back to that. Or the other big thing is like, okay, well, what can I control? Because there's a lot that you can't control.
Right.
You
And
know?
isn't it interesting that the redirection, I love that. It's not rejection, it's redirection.
Mhm.
When you get redirected, when you start having levels of success, two things happen. And from my perspective, from my opinion and my experience, is one, those people that maybe doubted you do call you and say, hey, man, good for you. I always knew you'd do it. Wasn't the right time for us or whatever, but hey, great
Yeah.
job. And then it becomes deafening. So many people disappear. I know when I first started getting any level of fame, not success, because in the business I felt like I've been successful in a lot of different avenues. But when I started getting notable, it was deafening that so many people just disappeared in my life, and that was weird to me. And I don't know why. And as you're getting more and more successful and you're out there, are you experiencing both of those things or no?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I mean, I'm smiling because on one hand, even this week, it's interesting individuals that have been reaching out, and it's like, oh my gosh, and you're buzzing around. And by the way, it's all exciting. There's a lot of great things that are happening, and then there's also, there's times of like recognizing that maybe like certain relationships change, or and I think this is probably the hardest part is when you have people that are close to you that maybe know you and know you so well, but maybe they get caught up in, I don't know, like an idea or a personality of something, and then they like question you, and you're like, wait, but you know my integrity better than anybody. Yeah, so it's a fine balance, but again, I guess, but I think this goes for everybody across the board. Is like just as you get older and maybe coming out of COVID. I mean, I know Glenn that you were even kind of like mentioning this, but that coming out of COVID and having more energy and just like almost no, as Anthony said, no fucks to give. But there's also this element that we took this time to kind of look at ourselves a little bit more. And I think our circles have gotten smaller.
Right.
And it's okay.
I love that every time she's on here, I get her to curse. I'm so excited.
You
But
get what?
I get you to curse, which I love. But
Wait, I curse like a sailor.
yeah, but I don't
Like
really hear it.
before.
But and I really think that is
Soil best.
and I've never been able to explain you, even to myself, because you're really a fascinating person, and no, you really are, and I mean that sincerely because I know how hard this is, and I've had an idea, and I had so many people just launch me to the top. I pressed a button and 5 million people saw me on TV. I had an idea and a production company and the travel channel. Everybody just launched me to the top. Not a lot of work. I worked on the show. I worked my ass off on the show, but the promoting and the marketing, boom, it was done for me.
Mm-hmm.
What you do on a daily basis, I despise. I despise the grunt work of the marketing and the social media and the pictures and the videos and the writing of it and the lighting. Everybody knows me knows that is, I can't even say a weak point because I don't even know if I'm good at it because I just hate it so much. I don't do it. And so I admire that because I don't have that. I don't want to do that. In order to be who you are, you have to do that.
I think it's like if you enjoy like the art or the creativity of it, and I mean maybe it's also the background that I had and I don't always talk about this, but I mean it's not a secret, but I mean I do have a bit of background in film and TV as well too. So and I understand the creative element from that side, and then there is this side of things like if you want something done, sometimes the simplest way is to just do it yourself. So is it easy to have? Is it better to have help? 100%. But then there is something sort of empowering of just being like, you know what? I'm just going to roll up my sleeves and do it myself. Is it glamorous?
I don't know. Like I said, I worked really, 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 really hard when I'm working, but I don't like the marketing of it. So yes, it's better to do it yourself. In my opinion, not that. Now, staying on that, not doing it myself. When the book is finally ready, probably by the year 100 years from now, you're doing all my work. You're telling me how to do it.
Deal.
All right.
Done.
All right.
Done. Well, and that, by the way, and going back to that, and so keep in mind, like I am self-publishing this book, and there have been a lot of lessons along the way. I know that we kind of have been talking about it for some time, and a lot of that had to do with, I like to say, this is literally the book that Sarah built, in the sense that chose all the fonts, the design, the formatting of it. I would have somebody do graphics for me. I didn't like them. I redid them myself. So not glamorous, but again, it's kind of one of those things that, at the end of the day, if it's something that you want and you want it done in a certain way, sometimes you just have to to really roll up your sleeves and do it.
And you know what? The book's going to be successful, but if it wasn't, you wouldn't care as much because you did a great job.
Yeah. And, here's the thing. At the end of the day, it's about, inspiring and making a difference for, if it's one or two people, that it's okay. That's okay. I mean, obviously the more, the better. I mean, that's the goal, but it's about how can you impact a change, because it's also a ripple effect too. You inspire one person and they can go ahead and inspire somebody else. And so, and that might sound cheesy, but
it's absolutely true.
I've walked into rooms and people, just recently I walked into a room and a couple were like, you remember us? And I said, yeah, I do. I didn't. I remember their faces, but I didn't remember the circumstances we were in. And I inspired them to start their own business. And so very often, and Glenn's been around, when people come over to me and say, hey, man, when you said this or you said that, or, you don't realize the impact you have on people because you're just being genuine. Yep. There's not a paycheck I've ever gotten with enough zeros on it that makes me more emotional and more intense and happy than when someone says, hey, man, you inspired me to do A, B, and C. Because I'm not really here to inspire anybody. I'm here to just give as much goodness as possible into this business. And if that inspires people, that's great. And that's what you do. You inspire me. And very few people inspire me.
Whoa, Anthony. What a sentimental moment here.
And I said it without saying a joke because I mean it.
Yeah, no, right. That's definitely.
And I've refrained from any snotty comments for the last 3 minutes.
I know, Glenn, you've been pretty quiet over there.
Well, I'm just, letting you guys in.
So now I wrote the forward on the book, and I wrote the reverse on the book. I don't know. That was a bad joke, but
that was a bad joke. Oh, so other aspects of the book, just to give people, a bit of reference, by the way. Also, I really wanted it to not just be through my lens as well, too, because as we all know, with the hospitality industry, we're a big machine, and we all work together. And so the final chapter is actually a combination of a lot of really special stories from concierge from around the world.
Beautiful.
I called in other concierge just because, the ability that we have to kind of be able to do these really cool special things for guests, and to see how people were able to do these sort of magical moments everywhere, regardless of country, language, whatever. It just shows you that hospitality is universal.
See, but that thoughtfulness you talk about, that superpower you have by circling back into the community that built you, right? Because concierge really made you a career, and you owe a lot to them, right? Like I owe a lot to the hotel industry. I owe everything to the hotel industry.
Same.
And that is a superpower because now they're supporting you. They appreciate that you didn't forget where you came from. And I think that that's really, really important. And also people that don't know the concierge community because of your organization, and I never say it right, so I won't say it.
Lake Claydoor.
Lake Claydoor. It's not that hard.
You got it.
And you guys all know each other. If you're in France or Belgium, wherever you are, you're all connected because you have events, and you what's important, which I think you explained it to me. I think you explained it, Kalinda, or you explained it to me. And that if you have a guest staying in the peninsula in Beverly Hills, probably that guest is going to stay at the peninsula in Hong Kong.
100%.
So when you say, hey, John, my guest is coming to Hong Kong, this is what he likes, this is what he doesn't like, make sure you take care of it. There's a power and a thoughtfulness to that that is really when Joe managers come into these fancy hotels and they start thinking about what they should do with the concierge, what they should do is hire the best in business to shut the hell up. Because those moments of that billionaire guy going to Hong Kong and knowing that Sarah said something and say, hey, he likes whatever, his tea and you go in, all of a sudden he has perfect tea.
Mhm.
That's the thoughtfulness, and that's the superpower.
And not only that, but thoughtfulness like across the world, and it's that extension. And that I think that's a really important thing. And that's certainly what's been so special about, being part of that being part of the concierge community is you are legitimate friends. And that if you pass somebody, a guest off onto them, that that they are going to treat them just as though that they were there and their own VIP guests as well too. But I mean, it's a really powerful community and so special. And by the way, like some of my closest friends from that world, because it's concierge are an interesting breed to say the least.
Right.
So to be able to call on them to be in this book,
You know what? Everybody talks. We all have. Every one of us has our own issues that we deal with, right? And so nowadays, everybody's having issues, and they call it mental health, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, I have a mental health moment. I need a mental health day, which is fine and great. And I needed them myself. I take them a lot. But when we were kids, we just called it crazy. It's right. It was just like, he's crazy. He's crazy. We're all crazy. It's all different levels of crazy, right?
Mhm.
And then you get the real crazy, the real different level. But we've all go through this world, and we're all challenged, and we all have good days and bad days.
Mhm.
With your book, and I really want to make sure that I help you in any way I can clarify, this is not a fancy lady from a 5-star hotel talking about fancy things. This is about talking about that person on the street that needs a lifting hand. Your 10 seconds of thoughtfulness, whether it be giving him $1 or whether it be just looking him in the eye and say, what else can I do? What can I help you with? And if you're not that person, maybe you can do something else and just be thoughtful. And again, if you're running a bicycle shop, if you're giving out, I don't know, towels at a pool club, thoughtfulness is what gets you to the next level. Thoughtfulness is what's going to get you to the CEO level. Thoughtfulness is what's going to get you a best-selling book. There are people that like me, and there are people that don't like me. But
Mhm.
the one thing that I think most people would say about me is, when there's a moment, I'm thoughtful and I try to do it in the best way I can. And that's why I love your book, because that's what it's about. I want to break down the fanciness of what you've done in your career to
Mhm.
bring it down to this. You could have worked in a bodega, okay, and still be the person you are. You don't have to work in a 5-star hotel to understand what you understand.
Well, yeah, and then I think it kind of comes down to, again, just being like really present in the moment, and it's all the things that we know, as far as that, like really listening and putting two and two together, and it doesn't take much to
But see, it
care.
does. It does, because people. I've had conversations with people, even Glenn. Sometimes we've had a couple disagreements, and I'm just like, "What the hell are you talking about? You're wrong, Glenn. You're 100% wrong." And he's like, "No, I don't care. I'm not wrong. Whatever." And those moments are moments where it's like, it's not simple. You have to care and be thoughtful about that person, even when you disagree with them, and
Mhm.
even when you don't understand how they think. Because in that moment, I'm like, Glenn doesn't understand like how to deal with people sometimes. And the moment that I'm talking about, it's like, does he have no clue of what he just did or said? But I've been in that position where he looked at me like, dude, you don't really give a shit. And like, you know what you just did? So
Sure.
we have to understand
Yeah.
that it's not that simple. We are
No.
complicated humans, and that what you know and what I know instinctively, a lot of people don't.
Hey guys, I have to break in here right now, because speaking
Yeah.
of complicated humans, there's one that wants to jump on. There he is, producer Dave.
What?
Oh, we have to make it the Dave show all the time. Oh, Dave.
Dave, thanks for joining, buddy.
You hear us, Dave?
Oh, just wish him a happy birthday. Kiss his
I
ass.
know. He also wants to congratulate Sarah. Sarah, congratulations. We're very proud of you. That's from Dave, not from
All
me.
right, I can't. He can't.
Bye,
Just take
Dave.
him off. I can't hear him.
When it's your birthday, how amazing.
I know, really, just amazing.
No, but Glenn, you understand
I
what I
feel
said?
so unique, because not every other person in the world doesn't have their own special.
But Glenn, you understand what I'm saying? I didn't mean to.
Yeah, totally.
But like, it's not that easy.
No, I totally get that. As a matter of fact, Anthony, I have got a story just for you. Just this very morning, just when I was going out of my walk, I ran into a neighbor of mine who I haven't spoken to in a while because politics and stuff like that. But you know what? We said hello this morning. The first thing out of our minds was, let's not talk about any of that. We had an amazing conversation for 20 minutes. And it was just about being people with people and not worrying about all those things that we don't understand. So, Anthony, I totally get where you're coming from.
I was at the table at a tournament and sitting down with 3 men a little older than me that were talking about things I didn't agree with. And I really just wanted to say, gentlemen, this is not the place to talk about these things, but who am I to say where's the place to talk about anything? So I concentrated on my game, and I was a gentleman, and I went on a run to bust all 3 of them so I don't have to listen to them. I busted 2 out of 3 of them, and somebody else busted somebody else. So I literally was just like, you know what? I'm not going to get into an argument with you, but I am going to target you, and I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to take all your chips, which I did.
And we're a big believer in second chances here. We're promised this time.
All right, Dave.
Hey, guys.
Dave!
Good to see you, Dave.
Finally got myself some service here in New York. How you guys doing? Glenn, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Sarah, congratulations on the book. I know it's been a long time coming, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to read it.
Looking
forward to that.
Can't wait to
And
send
Anthony, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well, my brother. I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
How you doing?
How you
I had
doing?
about 35 free seconds, so I figured I would just drop in as I'm walking back to
Oh,
work.
that's good because we only want you on for another 5 seconds, so that's perfect.
4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks, Dave.
So busy. Oh.
But anyway, this is the Sarah show. I don't want to make it anybody else's show.
All right.
No, it's just read the book.
Yep. Hold on. We're gonna let's just promote this the right way.
Okay.
You got the website over there. Make sure you go over to that site. There's a pre-sale going on right now. And if you buy the book with the pre-sale, my understanding is you get an autographed copy. That is a pretty good deal.
I bought the book. I was supposed to get a book, but I bought one too. Where's my book, Sarah?
No, hey. You're getting your book. Okay. So so it officially comes out January 18th, but I am going to be doing a special order and getting a bunch of these, and I will be sending out. My goal is to send out all of the pre-sale ones so that everybody gets it prior to the holidays. So I'm doing that, and also prior to. By the way,
the book we're writing the forward. Don't you should have got a book? Already?
I don't know. Yeah, Sarah. I mean, Passover starts a week from Sunday, so
okay. So I'll just have to pay extra shipping.
All the kids under the Hanukkah bush are asking for one.
So who ships all these books? Who ships the books?
Oh, so I am going to be shipping all of these at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. You're really excited about this. You're like, wow, Sarah, you want to do more work?
Yeah, and then who ships the rest of the books?
And then I'll have Amazon do the fulfillment. Or I'll have somebody else, like basically help pack and ship them. But I personally wanted to handle all of these at the beginning just because of everybody that's taken the time to go ahead and support. So I want to make sure that
you will teach me how to go through this process because I had a deal with Simon & Schuster years ago and I never kept my bargain because I never finished it. So I will self-publish it and then you will help me with all the ins and outs.
I will totally help you with all the ins and outs, but again, it's exciting to, as you can see, I even have like a not for resale one here, but I'm just honestly, I'm fine tuning a couple of things in it. And then I'll be sending you your copy as well.
Enough with the fine tune and send the effing book already. Jesus Christ.
Hey. Okay.
Oh, my. So,
but thank you for asking me to write the forward. It was an honor.
No, thank you so much for being here.
And thanks so much for being here. And Sarah, just before you go, I do want to say I was planning on watching Dune this weekend, but now I'm thinking I might watch Texas Massacre 3D and Rock of Ages. I don't know.
Really? Okay, so Glenn is making fun of. I have been in a couple of random movies over the years, so I have made different appearances on movies and TV shows. So
which movie? I gotta look into which movie.
I just said Rock of Ages, Texas Massacre 3D, and there's a couple of others in there too, which I won't bother saying right now. But Sarah, I was in a Bob Dylan video in 1984. So
Ooh.
I know what that extra world is like. It's pretty exciting stuff.
What day? What's Bob Dylan's birthday?
No idea. What's
my birthday?
Sometime later or earlier this year. I forgot.
Me and Bob Dylan have the same birthday.
All right. Yes. Well, I got my birthday. I share with Mickey Mouse, which seems very appropriate.
That's kind of cool. I
know.
I'm into that. That's a good one.
Thank
you. For sure.
And also First American Embrace, Alan B. Shepard Jr.
Okay.
And as Matt has pointed out, Kevin Neal and Elizabeth Perkins.
I got one more question.
Yeah.
Yes.
When your mother read the book, what was her response?
She was very complimentary, and it was interesting because she's so we have this long-standing thing that I'm constantly on the go. Anthony, you and I are very alike in this way. And her first comment to me was like, "You write really well for being somebody who doesn't like to read." And I was like, "Thanks." No, but she's read it. She's read it a couple of times and has been really good as far as, just helping fine tune some of the things, maybe find my voice or clarify an explanation. But she was really proud, and that was cute. And by the way, can I also just mention, because I just wanted to do a shout out for these people because they're awesome. I happen to be here in Louisville. I know we talked about this briefly, and I'm at the Hotel Distill, and it's a beautiful property. And I want to give them a shout out because I'm here, staying here for the week. And
are you on business?
Yeah, I'm here for business.
What are you doing?
What do I do? I'm doing a mix of things. So covering a couple things with the Louisville Tourism Board. Also, by the way, I work with this company called Punched, which they do caffeinated gummies. I am one of their ambassadors. And so we did a couple of TV appearances, filmed a commercial yesterday. So Punched gummies. Actually, I should send you some.
So caffeinated gummies is what I heard. What is it?
Yes, caffeinated gummies. Where are my caffeinated gummies?
Did you say caffeinated dummies?
Gummy. No, that's me. That's me and you.
Gummies, caffeinated gummies, Punched.
Pretty cool.
Okay, so they actually
like
own the patent to the only caffeinated. So it's a caffeine gummy. It's made out of green energy, and it's clean and it's amazing. So I'm here working with the team on that and doing all sorts of fun things.
Beautiful. Well, have fun in Louisville. Loved having you on today, Sarah. Get the book.
It's great not to have to go to the shift at the hotel, huh?
Oh, yes. Well, but I have to say, once you've worked in a hotel, you think about everything in a very, very different way. And I'm always like, oh, well, I can go ahead and I can clean up this, or I can do this. Right. And it's just like, I don't actually work here, but.
I clean my rooms almost embarrassingly well. That I'm almost like, why am I doing this? Like, it's embarrassing. It's like you literally, except actually when I checked out last night because I had to leave quick, it was clean, but it's literally spotless. You have no idea anybody. I just feel horribly guilty that the housekeeper should spend 1 second she doesn't have to clean my room.
Oh my God. I mean, I tidy up. I'm not like.
No, I clean. I literally get all the garbage. I take it out. I put it in the bag. I put it out in the hallway. I take all the towels. I bunch them up. I tie them up. I put them in the bathtub. I take all of my soaps and toiletries that aren't going to be shaved, throw them in the garbage. Take all my water bottles and everything I use. I take my bed linen and everything, and I try to kind of make it. I know they're going to change it, but try to make it neat. And I literally take all the hanger, everything.
So then wait, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
After you do all that, do you then leave a tip as well?
Of course I leave a tip.
Okay, I am just checking. Okay, just so
of course I leave a tip.
Just making sure.
Tip your housekeepers, people.
Always tip your housekeepers. That's for sure. And
buy the book.
Yeah. Well, yes. You.
Do you tip your housekeepers, Glenn?
No, they tip me because I'm so.
No, I want to know. I want to right here on air. Do you tip your housekeepers?
Of course, I tip the housekeepers. What am I, some sort of animal?
I want to know how much you tip a day, Glenn. I'm just.
I used to tip before the pandemic, $2 a day. Now I'm leaving $5 to $10 from there a day or two.
Okay, all right. Always 10 or more. No more 5. You're a rich man.
No,
all right.
Yeah.
I'm not a rich man, but I hear where you're coming from. I'm rich because I get to work with you, Anthony.
Oh, look at that. All of these sentimental moments, Glenn's birthday, so much love.
Well, Sarah, if you need me to do anything for you, I'm here. If you have an event, I'd be more than happy to come and help you. Do whatever I need to do, I'll help you with.
We'll work it out. Maybe we can get you to sign a couple books, Anthony.
Whatever you need me to do. I want this book. I want everybody in the hospitality industry to have this book because I think it's not even helping you. You're my friend, so I'll help you. But there's two types of helping people. Like, hey, I'll help you. Yeah, maybe. And then there's like, no, I need this book in everybody's hand because right now, the industry is in free fall.
Well, yeah, no, and again, it's interesting. It's interesting how the timing ends up working out because, as you guys know, I definitely wanted to have this book out earlier this year, and just due to me making all of the changes myself and really rolling up the sleeves and doing it all, it just got delayed some more. But I think now is the everything happens for a reason, and it's the timing's right. So hopefully people, take away something from it and they can make some.
I have a conference call to get on, but before I know we're a little minute over. I literally got to go, but I want to say this. There's something on TikTok that I saw a while ago, and it said, "No one's coming." And it shows somebody working out in the morning and shows somebody like writing a book. And it just shows all that quiet time that we have to spend to be successful. And it says, no one's coming. No one's going to wake you up in the morning. No one's going to tell you, hey, write that book. No one's going to tell you, hey, do that person a favor. They'll come back and, and help you long term. It's like no one is coming. Mm-hmm. No one is coming. And I think you're an example of that you do it quietly. You do it almost in secret, but you do it. You do it like you just do all the work that a lot of us don't want to do, including me.
Well, if you just know that you have to do it and it just makes sense and you're doing it for a greater good, it's easy to put. It's just easy to make it happen.
All right, you're a superstar, my friend.
You guys are awesome
for being here. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Bye-bye.
Go write another book.
Yeah. All right, everybody. I know you're going to want to put this one in your permanent audio file. And to do that, simply go ahead. Nope, that's not what I want to show. What is going on over here, people? All right. No Vacancy Live can be found on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, anywhere Samsung Play. You know where you get your shows. Feel free to get these there. Subscribe right now. He's at Anthony Hotels. I'm at Traveling Glenn. And breaking news, Anthony, we're doing a full-up tribute show to Bob Dylan on May 24th.
Yes. Not a big Bob Dylan fan, but I respect him. I'm not into his music, but listen, he was born on May 24th, man.
Yep.
All great people. And Tim, what's that guy? O'Reilly. He's an actor. He's a character actor. He was born on my birthday too.
I don't know. Maybe the Led Zeppelin song, Baba O'Reilly. Maybe.
No, he's been in everything. But anyway.
All right.
Today's your birthday, so we celebrate you. What time were you born, my friend?
7:11 a.m.
7:11 a.m. So you get a free slushie?
I wish, man. I should totally go there. I mean, if they put the card in driver's license, that would be good. Maybe I should go to Denny's and get one of those free lunches right now.
So as one of the things you'll realize as your sons get girlfriends and my daughter's got boyfriends, on their girlfriend or boyfriend's birthday, for 3 days, all they're doing is concentrating on the birthday present for their girlfriend or boyfriend. Right. On your birthday, they'll grunt at you.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm just the greatest part about birthday is I get to go out to a nice dinner. I don't have to pay for it. I will when the bill comes in a month, but
don't you love that?
I don't have to hand over the card and I don't have to drive. So it's great.
My wife got me a present I wanted, and my daughter said she looked at the Amazon bill and she goes, "Dad, why'd you buy that? It's so it was relatively expensive." She goes, "Why'd you buy that?" I go, "Buy what?" And she goes, "Oh, it's on the bill that I'm going to see it anyway. So why would you
That's really funny. So I will say, Anthony, the birthday present I got for myself from my mom and wife, I got I'm going to do a home brewing thing. Right. So as soon as I figure out how to do that right, I'm gonna make you a great rack of ribs, bring over some beers, and I'll have good lunch.
Okay,
all right,
my friend.
All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for being here. We absolutely appreciate your
Garden City Hotel. Garden City Hotel.
I will get that worked out now that I'm going to be home for a while after our Vegas jaunt. All right, everybody. Remember, you got one life, so blaze on and
be kind to yourself.
See you next week.